Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking, and just like that, Season 1, Episode 5. And just like that, Episode 5 was over. Ha! How interesting. Let's discuss it together. Before we get to it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Thank you for all of you who have already subscribed. You can push the join button next to the subscription button, become a member today, gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon for extra perks. Super Dacob all spelled together there as well. Thank you to all the members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday. Everybody's welcome to join the live stream and the live chats. And here they are. Welcome, everybody. We are discussing, and just like that, Episode 5. Okay. Little Carrie moment, I guess. I'm dressed up for the occasion. No, not really. I'm actually dressed up because I'm filming on New Year's Eve. So a little bit of a wonderful, glitzy attire. My moment in velvet, the phoenix, the feathers of a phoenix in glitz. This outfit is dedicated, of course, to the girls of Sex and the City because fashion, they have a passion for fashion. But it is also kind of a special outfit dedicated to Betty White. Now, why am I talking about Betty White? May she rest in peace, because she did pass away. The Golden Girls, for me, were the predecessors of Sex and the City. There would not be the Sex and the City as we know it if it wasn't for the Golden Girls. So it's kind of important to acknowledge Betty White. I almost say, after Mr. Big passed away in episode 1, and then we had the issue of Willie passing away, and then they didn't want to have another funeral in the show, so they just kind of wrote him out of the show in episode 4. He left for Japan. They couldn't have another funeral. Well, and just like that, another member of the cast passed away. I know Betty White was not a member of the cast, but to me, the Golden Girls and Sex and the City have always been kind of intertwined, at least in my life. And even in Just Like That is connected somehow to that development from the Golden Girls into Sex and the City and now into And Just Like That. It is what it is, you guys. Now listen, I have had the pleasure of reading a bunch of your comments in the last episode's review, where we got to talk about, tokenism, the color of the skin, wokeism, all of the ism that And Just Like That delivers or wants to deliver. And I said in that review, I've been watching reviews of other people and channels out there on episode 4, and interestingly enough, I've noticed that it's more the white people that kind of give negative reviews. And then, of course, a plethora of comments flooded, talking about the fact that no, that's not true. It was amazing actually to read the comments, because I have never seen a comment section under a video so separated between loving the show, hating the show. People saying, because I said I've seen a few also people of color reviewing the show favorably. I've also seen those that review it not favorably. But then I have people coming for me, loving me or hating me for having said that. And then I just say to the people who say that's not true, I'm like, well, if it's not true, then just read the comments under my video. You are going to see people of all origins, all ages, all sexualities, all colors saying either they love it or they hate it. But there's such a huge division. There's so much of everything in this whirlwind that of reactions that have been reactions to And Just Like That. That to me, because listen, ending episode 4, I said, episode 4, well, go check out my episode 4 review if you haven't already. I'll post the link down below. And if I remember, up here in the card section as well. But check out that video, because, I kind of said I didn't like that episode, and it was kind of really difficult. I felt like I was falling away from the interest of And Just Like That. But truth be told, you guys, the fact that this show is so sparked so many opposing and opposite opinions shows me that in reality, this show is maybe more. Thank you for subscribing. Maybe more. This show maybe hit more the mark of the times than we thought it did. A lot of people are saying it's too woke, it's trying too hard, it's too much this, it's too much that. But honestly, though, because we are seeing such visceral reactions to this show, both favorable and negative, this shows me that, and just like that, actually really hit or hits, because it's still going on as we're reviewing it, it really hits the nerve of the time, or of the times we live in. More so in America than in other countries, probably because America is a very divided country. I mean, there's no beating around the bush about this. I'm not political on this channel, but facts are facts. The last president, what he left behind is a mess. I'm not saying the new one is not going to leave a mess behind. Not giving anybody positives or negatives, but facts. America feels like it has never been so divided. And it feels like this show is like kind of poking in that wound that is still open and bleeding. But here's the twist, you guys. I feel like this show is poking into that wound not to provoke even more, but perhaps in a very naive way, in a ditzy, clumsy way. The writers didn't do the best of jobs, but they're trying to not poke to make it worse. They're kind of trying to heal the situation, and they're trying to unite, to unify. And for some people, it seems to be working. For others, it seems to not be working. But nevertheless, whatever be the case, the show does strike a chord, because otherwise there would not be such visceral reactions to it, positive and negative. Now, spoiler alert, we're heading into the review of episode 5. We just literally, we're thrown into the episode. Carrie and Seema are, I think this is the first time that I've seen, I don't remember from the original show having seen Carrie's, maybe we did see Carrie's original staircase, like after the exterior shot of her old apartment building, the little tiny stairs, and then when she opens the door, there's another big staircase. I don't remember ever having seen a scene like that vivid of her going up that staircase, but they had to shoot that scene now because they wanted to show us that Carrie has major difficulties going up the stairs. So she takes an umbrella out of the umbrella holder and uses the umbrella as a crutch to kind of get up the stairs. Seema says, girl. And they make again a joke about age. And I know we've been discussing this age situation and saying, oh my God, the ageism. Oh, why are they always like making these 50/60-year-old women act like they're in their 90s? But I have the feeling that's where the show takes a kind of a joke at us, the viewers, because at this point it expects us to be like all about, oh my God, ageism. Oh, really? Are they going to do like, oh, okay, now she's old? Ugh. So they twist that relatively quickly because it turns out that Carrie she's not like because arthritis or old or something. No, she has some congenital something in her hip. She was born with it. It has nothing to do with her age. It's a simple operation that can eliminate that issue, and she gonna be good as new. And that's what happens. Little problem there with the editing because as Carrie goes to the hospital, of course, both Charlotte and Miranda say, of course, we're going to, live with you while you're recovering because you can't move. You need help to pee, to poop. Thank God they didn't show her pooping, but they did show her peeing. Already a bit of TMI there. But then again, does anybody remember an episode where Samantha's moo-moo turned orange? That's what Sex and the City is all about. Her actually peeing and Charlotte helping her pee was an old school Sex and the City moment for me. And yes, call me a perv, but I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy Carrie peeing, but I enjoyed that intimate discomfort that two of the main characters have with each other. And it works. It worked for me. So anyway, the problem I had with the editing was Carrie's in the waiting room with Miranda before the operation. And then there's a cut and like she's in her bed and there's Charlotte and Miranda in the room. And I'm like, oh wait, so is she still waiting to get operated or is this after the operation? Why aren't they showing us like her going to get operated, saying goodbye to them? They just literally forgot about that whole part. She was in the waiting room at the reception of the hospital, this bougie hospital in New York, and then cut. She's already done. She done, and she can actually walk to the bathroom with the help of Charlotte and pee. And I'm like, after hip surgery, you're moving like that already? Okay, you're definitely not old. Actually, you're not even in your 20s. Like, you're literally Wonder Woman to heal that quickly. So that was kind of bizarre. Why even give her that hip moment? Actually, okay, now to think of it, I know why they gave her the hip moment. Spoiler alert, we needed the hip moment to create the hysterical scene of her in her bedroom while Miranda is taking care of her. Now, before we get to the scene of Carrie in her bedroom and Miranda taking care of her, let's rewind a little bit. And thank you for subscribing, Imran. Let's rewind a little bit here because Che is back with a vengeance. But Carrie doesn't seem to want to see Che because she doesn't seem to be ready. First, she has to pee, which it kind of is it's forecasting what's going to happen, right? Because after the operation, she has to pee. And she's going to have to pee again. And Che is going to be involved in the peeing again. So there's kind of like this whole episode is bouncing off of forecasting of what's going to happen. So she has to pee. Charlotte is helping her. Che is coming to visit her. Carrie says, no. I cannot see Che like this. Miranda says, but she wants to see you. Carrie says, not she, they. Carrie educating Miranda about gender fluidity again. A little woke moment. Fine, we're used to it by now. It's kind of becoming cute, actually, more than cringe. It was cringe the first 4 episodes. But by the 5th episode, it's kind of cute. I find it cute. I don't find it cringe anymore. I think it's kind of cute at this point, where they're kind of just tiptoeing around these things and kind of teaching each other how to say stuff. I think it's kind of cute, you guys. I mean, anyway. So Miranda goes to see Che. Che brought lunch for Carrie, but now Che and Miranda are eating lunch. And, flirtation is going on because Miranda, of course, we know she guts the hots for Che. And Che is a flirty little, gender fluid minx. And, there's a little something going on there. But anyway, so then we have the scene of Carrie leaving the hospital, going home, and then all those photos that leaked months ago of that studalicious stud carrying her up the staircase. Now we know why he was carrying her up the staircase. Carrying Carrie. Carrie. See what I did there? Hey, if the girls can deliver cringe moments in the show, why can't I? Okay? Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So, he carrying Carrie. Thanks for subscribing, Jen. And I'm like, oh, okay, it was because of the hip surgery. Okay, so now Carrie's in her old apartment. And she's high as a kite. Okay, they're pumping her with painkillers. She happy as a button. She is happy as a button. Just keep popping those painkillers. So she's kind of happy, flying around, the stud is carrying her up, and she's like, yay! Kind of cute moment, sad but cute. So she's in her bed. So this whole kind of build-up was made for the clue moment of the episode. And now we get to that point. So we already know that Carrie, when she has to pee, she gots to pee. There was another moment in this episode where it was kind of bizarre in the hospital when she was like, I have to pee. And everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to help you. No, in the hospital, right? No, I don't have to pee. Do I? I don't know. Yes, I have to pee and I have to pee now. And I was like, oh, is she forgetting again stuff? Ugh. But again, now here it's the painkillers. So again, there's these little, now because, we're all like, oh my God, does she have dementia? What is it? Alzheimer's? Everybody says, no, that's not the case. But still, then she does things like this. And then you go, okay, what the hell? Why does she keep forgetting everything? But then she remembered that she has to pee. Okay, good. Thank God she knows still how to pee. Or does she? Well, she's now in her house. And we have this funny scene of her because she can't really walk and go to her podcast. She has to do the podcast from home. Now, she's doing the podcast from home, and the podcast, well, she's just kind of like talking, but not, with a weird little thing on her head. She looks like she has a chandelier on her head. And she's conversing, talking, communicating with Che and everybody, and she spills some tea. Some important tea, might I add. And the tea is kind of interesting. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Rich. Sending you love and light. Happy New Year's, baby. Thank you so much, sweetie. Lots of love to you, too. Oh, there you are. Double trouble.
$4.99 super chat from Rich Lux.
All right, we're going to give you a green one. I'm going to pop one in your honor. I'm going to pop your cherry, Rich. Are you ready? Okay, here goes, guys. This one's for Rich. Oh, my God. I popped your cherry, Rich. Hold on. You got the red, blue, and so whoever sends a super chat or subscribes, we pop a cherry. All right. Whew, okay, back to the convo. Oh, man, that was intense. Was it intense for you too? So she's talking and she spills some tea on Samantha. Now you see the buildup of Carrie being kind of in bed, not really herself anymore. Samantha creeps back in. So Carrie makes a joke because we've seen her in episode 1. Che said, girl, step up yo pussy because this ain't working. You're too prude for this show. You were writing the Sex and the City column in the 90s. You're the OG. You got to step your pussy up. So Carrie says, yeah, okay. So now she's high as a kite and she steps it up. She steps it up in an interesting way because she mentions Samantha. And she mentions that embarrassing moment when Samantha helped her pull out from downstairs a little something, we can't even say on YouTube, that she couldn't pull out on her own. And of course, Che loves it because the more embarrassing the situation is, the more Che loves it for the podcast. So there you have it. She says it, but of course, Charlotte is in the room. To the side, Carrie's in her own room on Zoom or Skype, or I don't know what they were doing, but she's kind of calling, right? And Charlotte is looking on the side and being like, Carrie, you did not just mention such an intimate and embarrassing thing for Samantha and yourself? Oh, Katie, thank you so much for the super chat, sweetie. Oh my God, I'm going to pop your cherry.
99 super chat from KTF. All
right, Katie, my love, you get a red one. I'm going to pop it in the back. Oh my God, this is so dangerous, you guys. Okay, up straight. I'm going to do it up straight. Up gay. We're going to do it up. Ah! Did you see the smoke? Oh my God, thank you so much, Katie. Okay, this is going to be intense. This is going to be one hell of a New Year's celebration. Thank you, Katie. Whoop, whoop. Okay, where was I? Oh, so the podcast is over. Now Charlotte starts telling Carrie, hey, Carrie, I mean, you got painkillers in you. You're high as a kite. You are aware that you mentioned Samantha and it's an embarrassing moment? And then Carrie said, yeah, Samantha, she's in on this. She's never going to listen to this podcast. Charlotte says, she might. So Carrie has an epiphany and writes Samantha. The last time she wrote Samantha was right after Big's funeral. Now we see that conversation continuing. Like Samantha did. So Carrie said, hey, are you there? Samantha said, yeah, like, what's up? And then Carrie said, hey, just want to let you know, I shared on a podcast the story of downstairs and you helping me pull out something. And Samantha writes back. And if you notice, that's the moment in the show, because we were talking about this in several episodes and reviews. The show, there's silence. We don't have Carrie's off-screen narrating what's happening. She's not writing her column anymore. So there's this silence. And also in this episode, throughout the entire episode, like you can really hear all of the noises around the characters, which is like so atypical, not so typical for Sex in the City. Like the glasses moving around on the table. You can hear, there's no music almost. Everything is so silent. Uh, and yet, when Carrie starts writing to Samantha, what happens? This kind of the old school Sex in the City, not the original jingle, but the Sex in the City vibe music kicks in. And boy, I felt so effervescent in that moment. I was like, oh my God, Samantha is back. Now, I think it was brilliant. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh my God, Dacob, so cringe. Why do you fall for the shtick? They're playing you like a fiddle. Play me. Play me. I'm ready to be played like a fiddle. Play me like a fiddle. Diddle my skittle. Let me tell you, when the music kicked in, Samantha was there. She just said, Carrie's like, hey, you pulled out the thing out of my thing, and sorry I said it on. And Samantha's like, what did she say? She said something like, oh, this was one of my best moments. What was the highlight? Oh my gosh, what was it? Carrie Bradshaw's in the chats. Carrie, what did Samantha say in that moment? Oh, B. Rachel, thanks for this great reviews and happy new year. Oh, B, thank you so much. You're going to pop up here. B, you're going to get one as well. What you're going to get? Let it pop up here first. Okay. Well, anyway. So. Thank you so much, B.
£17.99 super chat from B. Rachel. Thanks for these great reviews and happy new year.
Thank God that we're reviewing Sex of the City. Those legs with the Chanel slingbacks and the Popeye socks, me. Those are my legs. Just saying. Now listen, you guys, there's a lot of smoke right now here, and I have a smoke alarm detector, so I'm a bit scared. Let me just air this for a second, B, and we're gonna get to popping your cherry as well in just a second. Let me just let the smoke sedimentate for a bit, because I don't want to get the firemen. Or do we want to get the firemen in the house? I don't know. You tell me. So wait, what did Samantha say, you guys? She said that was one of my finest moments, right? It's a rule of life that everything you ever wanted comes the second you stop looking for it, right? Oh, Cheryl says, can we talk about the absolutely stunning dress Carrie was wearing at the end of the show? I am lusting for that dress. Yeah, that was amazing. But that was you mean the end of the show, not of this episode? Yeah. Yes, that was amazing. Anyway, so you guys, so Samantha answers something like, "Yeah, that was one of my finest moments," and then Carrie writes, "I miss you," and then Samantha starts writing, but then stops. Conversation ends. Carrie's like, "Oh," music stops, and I'm like, they gave me Samantha. Even through text message, it gave me life. The music, I felt alive again. Now, Kim Cattrall, would she like this scene? Would she not like this scene? Probably not, because she may think, you know what, guys? No. I said no to the show. I mean, they can do whatever they want with the character. She doesn't own the rights to the character. But I'm telling you, Kim, I know, listen, I said this in the past reviews. I said Kim Cattrall should... It's her legacy of Samantha and all of y'all's. No, she doesn't owe anybody anything. She's a great actress. Yes, she's an amazing actress. She's a great theater actress. She's done incredible movies. She's worked with incredible art directors out there. Incredible career as an actress. But she should not be embarrassed of Samantha. Whatever complications she had on set, with Sarah Jessica Parker being envious or jealous that everybody else loved Kim Cattrall more than her. Kim, who cares? Let Sarah Jessica Parker swim in her own envy. Let her be the bitch. Let her be whatever see you next Tuesday she wants to be. Girl, we got your back. Honey, we got you. You know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I mean? Don't let a party pooper destroy your legacy as Samantha Jones. Bottom line. You're bigger than that. And guys, don't come and now and tell me, yeah, she's done. She did it. She doesn't have to. Thank God she is avoiding to be in this show, because this show is a train wreck. Let me tell you something. Human beings of planet Earth, hello Earthlings, you love to watch a train wreck, don't you? You are the ones who love to tune into those videos where people cry on their kitchen floors, telling y'all that they feel like they're becoming chicken McNuggets. You're the type of people who love to watch the drama. So, let's be clear here. He who hath not sinned casteth the first stone. I don't hear those stones flying, because we hath all sinned, haven't we? So just bear that in mind. I'm just saying, Kim Cattrall, you're incredible. We love you. We got your back. Don't let anybody party poop on your Samantha Jones. And there's so much more life and stories about Samantha Jones. Yes, now, Patrick King. Kim Cattrall, I have issues with him too. I understand you prefer Darren Star. You were more in cahoots with him. Okay. Okay, fine. Michael Patrick King, whatever. Michael Patrick, whatever. The guy with the 3 names. I'm bad with names. The showrunner, Michael Patrick King. All right. I understand that you're not like, but guess what? They're begging you. You know, like Pooja. Dying for it. You're begging for it. They're begging to get you back. So, Mr. Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Farker. Farter. Well, now she became Sarah Jessica Peer. You don't really like them that much? That's okay. You become an executive producer like all the other gals, and then you have all the power you want. And then you say, no, Mr. Writer, I don't like the part written for me like that. Change it. But honey, we got your back. Just saying. Now, let it remain my wishful thinking. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Now it's Miranda's turn to take care of Carrie. Little did Carrie know that Miranda, again, what we forecast at the beginning of the episode. Now, Che is back with a vengeance, honey. Che is back to say hi to Carrie. It's as if Che knew that it was Miranda's turn to take care of Carrie. So Miranda opens the door. Carrie's kind of half asleep. We find out later that Carrie took only half a painkiller, not the full one, so she wasn't completely knocked out. Carrie's kind of semi-awake. Miranda and Che, well, Che brought some guzzle for Miranda. By now, of course, we have addressed the issue of Miranda's drinking. Episode 5 is about acknowledging the problem, and the problem is the guzzle. Miranda says, oh my God, Charlotte sent me a book through Amazon about a woman having the power to quit drinking. Miranda is super angry with Charlotte for having sent her the book. Miranda is angry because she says, why doesn't Charlotte just simply call me or see me or meet with me and tell me, hey, I think you got a problem, please quit. Instead, she sends me secretly a book through Amazon. And so Miranda coins the term, Charlotte Amazoned me. Carrie says, is this a new term? Miranda says, yes, it is. I'm not so sure it's a new term. I think I've heard having been Amazoned before. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. So Miranda thinks she's been Amazoned. Little did Miranda know, Miranda was knocked out, high as a kite on booze, guzzled herself to sleep. And while she was so drunk, she ordered the book herself. She finds that out at the end of the episode. And then she becomes really embarrassed that actually she doesn't even remember that she ordered the book herself. So she starts dropping all the liquor into the sink of her kitchen. Let's rewind back into Carrie's bedroom. Carrie is knocked out with half a pill. Miranda opens the door to Che. Che has booze. Miranda says, Carrie's sleeping, but you and I can drink. So they start drinking in Carrie's kitchen, which is right next door to Carrie's bedroom. Miranda says, I loved when you... What's it called? I even forgot. When she kind of exhaled the doobie into Miranda's mouth, and Miranda said, I'd like you to do that again. And then Che says, well, I could do it right now. And Miranda says, oh, please, Che. Please do, Che. And then Che pulled a Guevara on Miranda. So Che pulls a Miranda on, oh, shotgun. Thank you, Jam. Yeah, look at all my weeders knowing the terminology. Everybody popping up. Shotgun, shotgun, shotgun. Hey, Ollie, thank you so much. Oh, thank
Ollie
you so much.
donated $50. Dacob, you are loved. Best to you in 22.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you for subscribing, Karen. I'm going to pop your cherry to Ollie later because there's still too much smoke here. So we got 2 cherry bombs waiting, one for B, one for you. So they're coming. They're coming. Okay. Where was that? Oh, right. So shotgun, but then they start kissing. Now they're still relatively silent at this point, but they kind of get louder when Che asks Miranda if Che can slide a little finger or two downstairs. Miranda says, "Oh, please do, Che. Please do." She's begging for it, dying for it. Now, when she starts dying for it, she gets loud. That's when Carrie realizes something going down in my kitchen. But Carrie also realizes, I got to pee. Now we have an issue. And this is where I find the editing really brilliant in this episode, because everything that is happening to Miranda with Che in a hypersexualized manner with a lot of pleasure, orgasmic, the opposite is happening to Carrie, but in the same way, because we have that downstairs situation where Carrie needs to hold it in while Miranda wants to let it out. And it's wonderfully edited. I thought that scene was brilliant. Call me Cringeosaurus Rex, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then ultimately, Carrie has to take the bottle next to her bed. And I'm like, how is she going to pee in that bottle? Because the opening of that bottle is really little. How can you, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how do you point in it properly? I mean, your hip is gone. And that hip don't lie. So what you gonna do, girl? But anyway, she managed to fill the bottle. But then, of course, she kind of wobbled, fell, and the bottle spilled all over the bed. And the bottle spilled right in the moment when Miranda spilled something else. So it was delicious. It was brilliant comedy. Cynthia Nixon with her noises was just amazing. And then Che leaves. Cynthia runs to the bathroom. Carrie's there in the bed, in the wet bed, looking, because we know that she has a visual straight to the bathroom. And, she's really angry at this. You know how Carrie is. She's very prude at the end of the day. She's very upset that Miranda had sex in her apartment. How dare she have a life? So close the door of the bathroom. And Miranda's, oh, sorry. So then Miranda comes out. Carrie says, there's pee all over my bed. Miranda says, oh, I'm so sorry. And then Carrie says, and the smell of weed and the booze. Miranda says, I'm not an alcoholic. What are you talking about? Charlotte is also sending me books. She's like, you're drinking in the morning. You're drinking all the time. You have a problem. And then Miranda finally opens up and says, I hate my life. I don't like what I have in my life. This is not me. This is just not me. This is not who I am. It's terrible. I feel miserable. And Carrie says, oh my God, really? She's like, yes, I'm living in the wrong skin. Everything my entire life is not real. It's not what I want. And for the first time ever in my life, this thing that Che gave me, those couple of fingers, made me feel better than I have ever felt before. And Carrie at that point says, okay, Miranda, you are allowed to change my bed sheets now. I was going to kick you out, but now you could stay and you can change my bed sheets. And just like that, Miranda took the piss out of Carrie. But you know what I mean? And then that was good. They kind of acknowledged the issue. Then Miranda goes home, throws away the booze when she realizes that she Amazoned herself. Charlotte didn't Amazon her. Speaking of Charlotte has a bit of an issue in this episode because her and her husband find out that Rose, oh, and this is a missed opportunity, Mr. Michael Patrick King, or however many words you have in your name. Because, so they say, Rock is going to do this. Rock is going to perform there. And Charlotte says, who's Rock? there's like this parent meeting on Zoom or a Skype call while Charlotte is cooking, and all the other parents talk about Rock. And Charlotte says, "Oh, who's Rock?" And then she finds out that Rock is actually Rose. Her daughter decided to change her name from Rose to Rock and is now gender fluid, is now they. Not he, not yet. Rose is now Rock, Rock is they. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Gestion Humana. Happy New Year, honey. Thank you so much. Which since you were rocking the platinum blonde. Aw, thank you so much,
20,000 Colombian pesos super chat from Gestion Humana. Happy New Year, honey. I've been in love with you since you were rocking that platinum blonde.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you. You get a cherry to be popped as well as soon as the smoke is gone, because I got smoke detectors here, and you know what I mean with those lovely firemen. Anyway, so so what is going down here is Rose is Rock. Charlotte finds out through other parents because Rose didn't tell her. Then Charlotte goes to Rose. Rose says, "I told you, I didn't hide it. I posted it on TikTok." And Charlotte says, "Yeah, you post like 10 TikToks a day. How am I supposed to follow all the TikToks you're posting?" And here we have another woke moment, you know, the older generation, older, not old, just older. The next generation, not kind of being into TikTok that much. Who can blame him? Honestly. But, so then we find out, okay, Rose is now Rock. Everybody in school knows. Now, Charlotte and her hubby go to school to talk to the principal and the teacher, I guess, or whatever the educator is, and they suggest them, hey, go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to ease into this transitional phase. And of course, I'm so bad with names, and you all come from me because I don't remember. I just don't remember names, you guys. I have to hear a name 50 billion times before I can remember it. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with skin color. People coming for me in the last episode like, oh my God, you can't remember the black actresses' names. I can barely remember Carrie's name. But I always remember Samantha's name because I like her the most. So that's that. So what happened? What's his name, you guys? Somebody tell me in the chats. Will ya? Give a girl a hint. Charlotte's husband, Harry. Thank you, Jam. So Harry's really upset. Harry's like, but she's my child. Like, you're talking about my kid. You're talking about Rose. Like, Rose would eat ice cream all day long if you wouldn't stop her. So you can't just tell me that this is not just a phase. And the educators, teacher, whatever you want to call them, said, yeah, well, you know, we embrace it. If Rock wants this, we embrace it. We go through it. We research it. We look into it. We let Rock feel what Rock wants to feel. Okay, that's good. Now what happened? Charlotte tells Harry as they're leaving the school, you're a great father. Don't worry. This is all going to, you know, the gist of it is she's telling him it's okay. We're going to go through this together with Rock. It's going to be amazing. You know, she doesn't say it's going to be amazing, but I think it's going to be amazing because ultimately, yes, it's another woke moment, but let a kid live. I think it's wonderful that this show shows a situation like that where a parent wants to get to know more about their kid, about what their kid is going through, and instead of just pushing away the situation, shoving it under the carpet and the rug, instead they go full frontal, trying to figure out this without being aggressive about it, with love and care, talking to the child and trying to figure out what the kid wants, in which direction the kid is going in. I think that was really cool. #blessed. Now, Mr. Michael Patrick King, the opportunity that you missed is this one. Rose is a very feminine name, yeah. Rock is a very masculine name, right? Although we all know Rock Hudson, you know, into guys. But that's a whole other story for another day. But this is the opportunity missed. They should have explained more the word game that was going on there, because there is in perfumery a wonderful ingredient that I love a lot. It's in one of my favorite perfumes. It's labdanum. The ingredient is labdanum. Labdanum is a resinous secretion that comes from a plant that has this wonderful white flower with a bit of red in the center, also called the rock rose. So it's this gorgeous flower that doesn't have a smell, but the actual resinous, if the flower gets cut, if the part of the plant gets cut, it kind of protects itself by expelling this resin, which if you collect that resin, it's used in perfumery. It has a wonderful leathery, smoky smell, slightly sweet. It's a wonderful smell. And that plant is also called the rock rose. So it's a beautiful plant. It has so many symbologies behind it. And had they kind of integrated that notion into the show while explaining rose turning into rock, it would have been magical, because it would make much more sense. It's the same flower, but that one flower has both rock and rose in its name. Just saying, missed opportunity much? I think so. So, and just like that, episode 5 was over. And just like that, my love of the show and the spark reignited fully. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Yes, there were some cringe moments, but guess what? By the time we're at episode 5, I'm kind of looking forward to the cringe moments, because they are really cringe to a point where if you embrace them for what they are, they become super comedic. And then again, and just like that, very much looking forward to episode 6. Please let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are. And are you looking forward to episode 6 as well? Now, let me, Jason Martinez, my queen Sam, got her ORG, and Sam messaged back, yes, Samantha was in the show. Carrie says, was it cringe or was it just Carrie? Yeah, Carrie was definitely very cringe in this episode. I'm sorry to say, Sarah Jessica, like, girl, you're an executive producer. You could have told them to write you a little better part there, but whatever. It is what it is. Hey, Unique Rivera, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy New Year, babes. Wishing you and everyone in the fashion bunker an amazing 2022. Thank you so much, sweetie. It's going to pop up here any second now. Or it not. Listen, Bubbles the bot is really slow today. Methinks, says Portas too, they will bring Samantha back in the season finale, but with another actress, Sharon Stone. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Unique Rivera. Oh, you got the Chanel number 5 ginormous bottle.
$5 super chat from Unique Rivera. Happy New Year, babes. Wishing you and everyone in the fashion bunker an amazing 2022.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Listen, I've been saying this from episode 1, right? There's this interview that once, like, talking about, I think with Cynthia Nixon, even, who could do it. And they all said, like, what do you think about Sharon Stone? Everybody, I think, including Sharon Stone, said, I would do it in a New York minute. Listen, I think Sharon Stone could really do it. But I think also that Sharon Stone would be a much more rough Samantha, because Kim Cattrall has a delicate softness to her as a person. And that blended in with that aggressive sexuality of Samantha, it's gold. It's the combination of those two characteristics in one is what makes Samantha Jones gold. Sharon Stone does not give me soft, delicate attitude in real life at all. She's quite aggressive and full of herself. Maybe in the best of ways. But so her Samantha would not be balanced like Kim Cattrall Samantha was, between the fragile, the vulnerable, and the aggressive. I think Sharon Stone's would be a basic instinct type of Samantha. Which, you know what? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Wendy's Love and Life says, no one needs to watch Sarah Jessica Parker pee twice. Oh my God. Mr. Big masturbates in the first episode and urine. What's next? This show has lost the plot. No, honey, it's just lost continents. The plot is still there. It's just, it's losing liquids. Exactly, Hey Charlie. That's exactly the Hey Charlie says. And just like that, we finally got a glance from the essence of Sex in the City. I'm telling you, you guys, take it with a pinch of salt. Like, this episode was enjoyable. Come on. All y'all's party poopers out there. It was a fun episode. And especially now, may she rest in peace, Rose Nyland, Betty White, now that this lovely angel has passed away. The last Golden Girl is gone. We only got three Golden Girls left, you guys, and that's Miranda, Charlotte, and Carrie. Because, I mean, and Samantha, but hopefully she's going to be back. But now that our main Golden Girl is gone, we only got them left, and I'm happy that they're still there. I gotta say, despite all the odds and all the cringe, I'm still happy that they're there. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Carrie Bradshaw, I'm a golden shower girl. Gloria says, I didn't like Carrie being portrayed so old in the first part of the episode, but the second part of the episode really picked up, especially the twirl at the end. Yeah. All right. And of course, that's how the episode ends. She said, and just like that, I was back in my high heels in 3 weeks or 3 months. So 3 months have passed. One episode, 3 months. Oh, and let's not forget. Okay, one cringe moment. Oh, hold it. Thank you for reminding me about this. Two things. Golden Girls are connected to Sex and the City also through Gloria, who was Big's accountant, who I mistakenly called Gloria from the Golden Girls. She was Angela in the Golden Girls. Thank you for correcting me, Mr. and Mrs. Chat. Um, so we have a bit of Golden Girls in the show as well, but obviously, Betty White is amazing. Betty White liked sparkly things as well. So kind of this little nifty outfit is also in honor of Betty White to celebrate her life as well. Now the kind of cringy moment was when Carrie went to rehab. No, no, no. She didn't want to go to rehab, but then she wanted to because her rehab doctor or practitioner was this kind of, and again, they're portraying like the sexy guy to always have that horse face. I don't understand why they always do this. But anyway, she was into him, and I didn't really like the fat shaming that happened in that episode. That was a moment that I was like, no, 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 no. You're playing all woke and shit, but then when Carrie, and what's that about? Carrie's a millionaire. She inherited millions from Mr. Big. What's that about her insurance doesn't cover the masseuse that she considered hot, but the insurance only covers the masseuse that the show portrays to us as ugly and ew because what? He's chubby. And then Carrie's like, I don't want him. I'll pay out of my own pocket. Just give me the other guy that I think is hot. I wouldn't have a problem with it if she thought the guy that was hot was also fuller. But they kind of portrayed him as kind of the cliche hot guy. And so she wants him. She doesn't want the chubby looking guy, who, by the way, wasn't even chubby. He looked normal. But for that show standard, he was considered chubby. And she was like, ew, she didn't say it, but it was literally like, oh my God, no, he's too fat. I want the other one. And they're like, bitch, your insurance doesn't cover for the pretty one. Oh, I'll pay. I just want the pretty one. And then the receptionist is like, okay, then if you pay out of your pocket, bitch, you can have the pretty one. And he could give you a happy ending. And just like that, in 3 months, she was healthy again. I mean, yeah, Jack says that moment logistically just did not make sense. No, it didn't. No. Julie says, as a chubby chaser, I disagree. Oh my God, Julie, you're opening up a can of worms there. Because, yeah, I didn't get that either, Dacob, says Chrissy. Yeah, that was not comfortable. It just wasn't cool. I thought that was like, I was like, really? You literally you've been working for 5 episodes desperately trying to please everyone, to be kind with everyone, to embrace everyone, to accept and tolerate everyone, woke, not, It's no more woe is me, woe is me. No, the new thing is woke is me, woke is me. And I'm like, listen, to be perfectly fair with you guys, if they did not play the woke is me for 5 episodes, I would have considered this moment of her wanting the hot guy a typical Sex in the City moment. Because this is the politically incorrect type of shit that they did all the time in the main show back in the day. It was always cringe like that, you know. But now, all of a sudden, that cringe moment didn't work because they've been serving a whole other type of cringe in the first 5 episodes up until that moment. So that's why it's starting to become a little bit confusing. It did feel like a real Sex in the City moment, though. You know, like when Samantha didn't want the guy with the tiny penis, right? Because, you know. And I'm like, or okay, fine, the tiny penis, whatever. The guy, you know, maybe it just, you know, it didn't fit. But what about when she was dating the Munchkin? Now, I thought that was a typical cringe moment when she found out that he was so tiny. She's like, oh my god, no. She tried anyway. She said the sex was great, but still, she couldn't handle the fact that he bought clothing at Bloomingdale's or wherever in the boys section because he said to her, what? She's like, I can't. I saw that it's like from the children's section. You bought a jacket from the children's section. Oh my God, I can't. And he's like, what? It's cheaper there. Like, and then ha ha ha, slapped, had another, you know, round of sex, and then it was over with him. Like that type of cringe moment is like what we know from Sex in the City, you know? So like kind of Carrie wanting the hot masseuse is very Sex in the City, but it's not very and just like that. So what's it gonna be, Mr. Michael Patrick King-a-ling-a-ling? You can't have both. Or can you? Because Miranda said in last episode, she said, you know, to her teacher, you can have both. It's just very hard. And just like that, Miranda explained the whole season. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me that these videos are getting such a wonderful response, that everybody's so engaging and interactive under these crazy videos that I make. I love you so much for that. And until next episode, and just like that, this episode was over. Love you all. Never forget to never give up on love. Bye.